That's really good. Please watch out for what's going on the internet right now, and there's a lot of fake news about this, that somehow the government's trying to chip you. No, that RFID chip doesn't come anywhere near you. It doesn't get injected into you. What it's useful for is to let medical authorities know where the dose was administered and when the dose was administered. And it's also useful to making sure we're not seeing counterfeit vaccines come onto the market. So it's a way to make sure that the dose that you sign up for is the dose that you're actually getting. From a medical authority basis, it lets them know how many people were vaccinated in a geographic area. So if there is an outbreak, they can reliably say, you know, what's the effect of this and what's the potential infection rate. So please watch out what's happening on the internet, calling this, you know, the government trying to chip you, or, you know, some, you know, radical conspiracy theory. It's not that. This is a good use of wonderful technology.
All right. All praise, honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Lakaha Kadash, the Bwana tuzel, the apostle will be missed on who do well. Peace and blessing and salvation to you, Akiamwa, pushing this truth through the four winds of the heaven, and be on the forefront of this spiritual war, to make sure Jerusalem is established as a praise here on earth again. So, it is a response from the video entitled Eli Diablos says RFID chip is good and don't listen to the conspiracy. In a bracket, mark of the beast. So this is from the brother Fisher Sharayas Nawasa 2. See, I really know the name of this brother, but this video inspired me to do a response. You know, Esau was telling you, don't listen to a conspiracy theorist. You see, actually, the mark of the beast will be good for you, because Esau will be able to trace and track how many vaccines have been used, and if there is a fake vaccine is in the market, if there is what we call a zero infection, you see, a new infection, you see, and this really, it is tied in into your health insurance and the things like that, you see, and then really up to this point, the so-called Human Rights Watch, because back in the day, the Human Rights Watch, they have issues about the RFID chip, that there is a possibility that this tech company will be spying on people privacy, but really now they don't have anything to say, man, you see, because Esau is acting clever here, man, you see, as a devil, if you will, you see. The devil is being subtitled, you see, because he knows how to play with people emotionally, and things concerning health are things which touch the most sensitive part in your life, because everybody gets sick, especially in the present world. So Esau knows that, and he is praying with that, because Esau know how to use opportunities, man, you see. And another thing is Esau is a master when it comes to play with your emotion. And these RFID chips, or these enterprises, when Esau started selling it to the world, it will be a beautiful thing, man. Yes, it will be a beautiful thing, because Esau will tell you, he will be able to track your health issues, man. All of your medical record will be in the chip. Since the chip will be able to cure you from diabetes or things like heart diseases. You see, it will react like a pacemaker, because what make your heart to beat the way it is beating, because of the so-called sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. See, which produce what we call a pacemaker or electricity. In your heart there is something known as electricity. You see, so Esau will be able to cure a lot of heart diseases by using the RFID chip. And another thing Esau will tell you, the RFID chip will be able to track your kid, so that he won't be abducted with sex traffickers and the pedophilia. You see, the chip will be able to track your kid if he go out, so that he won't be killed with cops, you see, and things like that. So Esau will know how to play with people's emotion. And another thing, Esau will know how to manipulate you through fear, you see. And another thing, the third thing is Esau will know how to play with your sense of protection, you see. And here you have, in the recent days, you have issues with little girls and the women disappearing, man. So, and if you know anything about daughters, man, always male parents are connected to their daughters, the daddies are connected to their daughters, so that is an emotion things, man. So Esau is about to sell his enterprises. Esau is about to sell his enterprises. That's why I will entitle this video, you see, I will entitle this video Esau's the sleazy-ball king. You see, Esau is the sleazy-ball king. And if you know anything about sleazy-ball, sleazy-ball is actually, it is a term mainly used in the hood, you see, in the hood. People tend to use a sleazy-ball. It simply means if you let's say if you are trying to get with a woman and he acting clever, what you do is you lay a trap for her. You lay a trap so that you can get with her, and or you can say you lay a pipe. You see, you lay a pipe so that bitch you can catch her off guard, man. You see, that's what sleazy-ball is. And another meaning of sleazy-ball, actually, it simply means to be cunning, to be cunning, to be a liar. You see, yeah, like how Esau is, man. Esau is a cunning hunter. See, or you can simply say he is a king of sleazy-ball, and this is a sleazy-ball. It is say disreputable, disgusting, or despicable a person, also used as a general term of abuse, and that is Esau, man. He is abusing his power. You see, let's see another meaning of sleazy-ball. You see, according to the dictionary, you can find here sleazy-ball means is the same as a sleazebag, a person regarded as a sleaze, a liar, man. You see, and a sleazy, a person to be sleaze, he is not an average liar, man. You see, a sleazy person is a liar who play with your emotion, man, who play with your fear. He manipulates you through your emotion, he manipulates you through your fear, he manipulates you through what you want to protect the most. You see, he manipulates you through your belly, because that is another thing, man. For Jake wanted to eat, man. So Esau uses that. He will use that to place a bait, you see, so that he can catch Jake, man. Let's get the scripture. You see, let's get the scripture. This is Genesis. Genesis 3:1. And now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord Hashem Yahushai have made. And he said unto the woman, here has the Most High said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden. So the serpent was more subtle, man. And why does the serpent is the subtlety of the devil is likened into the subtlety of the serpent? Because if you know anything about snakes, they are very subtle, man. The thing is, they know how to maneuver through different terrain, man. They know when to strike and when to pull back, man. You see, that is the thing with snakes, man. And how about Esau? The scripture tells you Esau is a cunning hunter. And why? Because Esau, he know how Esau know how he know how to maneuver through his terrain. You see, Genesis 25:27, and the boy grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter. See, a cunning hunter. See, this is the meaning of a cunning hunter. See. The meaning of a cunning hunter. See, or let's see, a cunning person. See, a cunning person. So let me see. It say getting what is wanted in a clever and often deceptive way, and that is Esau, man. The thing with Esau, he know how to maneuver. He know how to use a certain pressure point to press you, so that he can get what he want, man, through deceptive measures, man. And that's how the serpent get down, man. They are very familiar with the terrain. That's why when the serpent is moving, it is always slithering around, man. You see, that's the serpent, man. And there's the same thing with Esau, man. So Esau know the terrain. He know how to play with your emotion, and that is Esau's terrain. He know how to play with your fear, man. You have something known as order of chaos, man. Order out of chaos, man. And that is Esau, man. Is the king of sleazy-ball. Let's go back. The king of sleazy-ball. Sleazy-ball meaning, man. You see, a liar. You see, they were seen as a bunch of sleazy-ball and the liars, and they voted out, and that is Esau, man. See, so let's go back to YouTube. I have another video. See, I have another video here on deck about Singapore. See, Singapore starting to use what we call mandate. They call the mandate. Let me see.
This is Dabu 7.
Let me see. Say Singapore planning a wearable wearable virus contact tracing device, you see. That is the RFID chip, man.
And as many people can see in the world we live in now, this war on COVID is ushering in police states all around the globe. Now, in Singapore, they're stepping up to the plate and they're saying that they're going to take it a step further than anyone. We talked about Bill Gates and him wanting to vaccinate all these people and how these nanochips and everything else were involved. Well, now this. One. We talked about Bill Gates and him wanting to vaccinate all these people and how these nanochips and everything else were involved. Well, now this.
Mr. Lucky, the internet is kind of slow. So let me try again. Let's see. So, today internet is kind of slow, but that videos like Singapore, they have begun to mandate what we call a wearable microchip for contact tracing. And if
this is Dabu7, and as many people can see in the world,
those wearable microchip that is an idea direct from the elite of the wicked Esau, man. You see, the wicked elite of the nation of Edom. They are using Singapore as a testing ground. It begins Singapore to mandate a wearable chip device for all 5 million citizens, and this will lead to the microchip, man. Esau now is giving you a wearable chip so that you can trace the spread of the virus. And that's how Esau play the sleazy-ball.
About Bill Gates.
If you go to this different dating coach, there is something known as a sleazy-ball. You see, playing the sleazy-ball. You try to use a manipulation to get a woman. That's being the king of sleazy-ball. It's the same thing with Esau when it's come to hunting, man. You see, now he's telling you can wear a wearable chip. You don't need it to place it under your skin, but the next time he will tell you need to press the chip under your skin, man. You see, and this is known as gradualism. So Esau have like 1 million ways to make you take the chip. That's why the scripture tell you, if the Lord won't keep you during the hour of temptation, you will likely take the chip. Even if you know the mark of the beast is an RFID chip, but you will end up taking it, man. Why? Because Esau was given the power to be subtle. He know how to play with people's emotion, man.
And him wanting to vaccinate all these people and how these nanochips and everything else were involved. Well, now this shows proof that there is a huge plan here to chip millions of people. This is a program being rolled out by the government in Singapore where they're going to roll out these tiny microchips. They're going to give them to all 5.7 million residents in what will be the most extensive tracing program on Earth. So the city-state is located in Southeast Asia, and they apparently already developed a tracing app for smartphones called Trace Together to identify people who have interacted with the so-called virus carriers. It was downloaded by more than 1.5 million residents, but did not work well on iPhones since the Bluetooth activity, I guess, goes dormant when an app runs in the background. So they have 5.7 million residents. Only 1.5 downloaded it. They're mandating all of this, not the use of this Trace Together, not yet. because it's not working on all phones properly yet. They will have to use something, this portable, wearable device that is on some kind of tether or on something that holds a tiny microchip. This is exactly how they describe it.
So let's go and get more scripture, man. That's Esau, man, the sleazy-ball king. This is Job 5 and 12. It says he disappointed the device of the crafty, so that the hand cannot perform the enterprises. So Esau, what he wants to do, he wants to present the idea of microchipping people in a present way, man. You see, it's like it's the same thing if you want to court a girl. You use what we call sleazy-ball. You present your idea to her as an enterprises. You see, at the end of the day, that girl, before he know it, she's already in your room, taking them pant. That's what is going to happen, man, to a lot of you people out of there. Even if you know the mark of the beast is an RFID chip, it doesn't matter. You see, at the end of the day, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua is the one who will decide who takes the chip and who don't. That's the thing people don't know. You knowing the mark of the beast is an RFID chip, that is not enough. You need to pray so that Yahweh Hashem Yahshua can keep you during the hour of temptation. Verse 13, he takes the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. You see, so to substantiate my point, let's go to the book of Psalm 2. The book of Psalm 2, verse 1. Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain saying? So this is talking mainly as the wicked elite of the nation of Edom. You see, all of this craftiness, all of this sleazy-ball, all of this highly advanced manipulation. Esau is praying on the left hand side because he is using witchcraft. You see, the Lord is telling you that is a vain saying. As the king of the earth, who was this man? Set himself and the ruler take counsel together against Yahweh Hashem Yahshua and against his anointed, saying, let us break the band asunder and cast their cord from us. How will they be able to do that? To break our bond asunder and to cast our cord, you see, by putting us back into slavery, and through what? Through the RFID chip, man. That is servitude, you see. Esau is not happy you niggas are running around speaking about the Black Lives Matter. You want equality. That's why Esau wanted to put you back to slavery, but in a more subtle way. This is Revelation 13 and 16. And he causes all both small, great, and each poor friend born to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. And that no man might buy or sell save he that has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So this is talking about an implantable microchip, RFID microchip. Over there in England, they call it a near-field communication. This is Revelation 14, you see. And 9, and the said the angel holds them, saying with a loud voice, if when a man worships the beast and his image and receive his mark in the forehead or in his hand, the shame shall drink of the wine for the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angel, in the presence of the Lamb, and the smoke of the torment ascends up forever and ever, and they have no rest day or night, who worship the beast in his image, whosoever receives the mark of his name. So that is the punishment. If you want to take the chip, just take it, but know as a punishment for taking the chip, it will be death by pain, man. You will be hit with high concentrated laser beam from the chariot or nuclear missiles, man, as a punishment. So if you fear Yahweh Hashem Shai, don't take the chip and play as the Lord keep you during the hour of temptation. Why? Because if the Lord is not with you, you may end up taking the chip, man. This is Revelation 3:10. Because thou hast kept the word of my passion, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. So it is not your will that you take the chip or don't. It's the will of Yahweh Hashem Shai that He will enable you not to take the chip. He gives you the strength to endure. You see, all of the temptation, all of the hardship in which you go through, so that you won't take the chip. You see, so this is beyond your normal game, man. It's beyond your imagination. You see, it's the thing of faith which shall come upon the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So this is it. I hope you brothers were edified. On to the next. Shalom.